On the morning of October 7, 2023, thousands of rockets streamed from the Gaza Strip toward southern Israel. This barrage served as a dense smokescreen, masking a large-scale ground operation. In the southern border region, near Kibbutz Sufa, an agricultural community on the edge of the Negev desert, armed groups breached the border fence. Their objectives were the civilian kibbutz and the adjacent Sufa military outpost. This is the chronicle of a battle that raged from October 7th to the 10th. Confrontation where a small, outnumbered force fought to defend the border against a numerically superior adversary. Kibbutz Sufa, a small community of a few hundred residents, lies in close proximity to the Gaza border. Adjacent to it stands the Sufa military base, a critical outpost for monitoring the border fence. On that holiday morning, it was manned by a limited number of personnel. At approximately 6:30 a.m., the first rockets were launched, heralding the commencement of the operation. The initial phase was marked by a surprise infiltration and a direct assault on the kibbutz. Armed groups, equipped with rifles, RPGs, and grenades, moved rapidly on motorcycles and pickup trucks through the breach in the border fence. They approached Kibbutz Sufa around 7:30 a.m., and gunfire erupted at the main gate. While some gunmen fired upon vehicles and streets to suppress movement, others stormed into the residential area. The kibbutz's security team, a small force of only about 6 armed men, quickly organized a defense. They barricaded their positions, returning fire from within houses and behind fences. In a tense episode of close-quarters combat, the security team commander identified and eliminated several gunmen attempting to advance near his house. The fighting was fierce and sustained, lasting for hours. The sounds of grenade explosions and machine gun fire echoed through the small community. For approximately 6 hours, the security team held its ground, preventing a deeper infiltration until the first Israeli military reinforcements could arrive. Simultaneously, at the Sufa military base, situated just a few hundred meters from the kibbutz, the situation was escalating. Around 7 a.m., the outpost came under a heavy barrage of fire. In Israel defense, forces tank positioned near the border had spotted the approaching armed groups as early as 6:41 a.m. Despite being targeted by RPGs and drone-dropped munitions, the tank crew engaged the attackers. They fired more than 35 rounds, destroying several vehicles and neutralizing numerous gunmen. For over 3 hours, the lone tank crew held their position under relentless enemy fire. Inside the military base, soldiers sought cover in the mess hall and fortified positions, returning fire with intensity. Gunmen swarmed into large sections of the base, initiating brutal close-quarters combat. Several soldiers sustained serious injuries. They managed to hold on to key defensive positions within the besieged outpost. The main phase of the battle consisted of a prolonged siege punctuated by localized counterattacks. Throughout October 7th and 8th, subsequent waves of attackers continued to press the assault on both the kibbutz and the base. IDF helicopters arrived to provide crucial air support, targeting and eliminating additional gunmen concealed in the orchards near the kibbutz. Task Force 13, a Naval Special Forces unit, was deployed by helicopter and landed directly at the besieged military base. The operators methodically began to clear the base, engaging in intense close-quarters combat inside bunkers and buildings. The confined spaces were filled with the sounds of short-range gunfire and grenade detonations. The Special Forces successfully rescued the besieged soldiers and systematically eliminated the remaining pockets of resistance within the outpost. The final phase of the engagement focused on securing the area and re-establishing full control. By October 9th and 10th, substantial reinforcements from other IDF units had arrived on the scene. A coordinated operation involving infantry, armored vehicles, and air support was launched to completely push back the attacking forces. The last remaining fighters in the vicinity were either eliminated or captured. Although heavily damaged in the fighting, both the Sufa base and the kibbutz were fully recaptured by Israeli forces. The battle resulted in significant casualties. The Israeli side suffered the loss of approximately 14 soldiers and 3 civilian residents from the kibbutz, with many others wounded. The attacking forces sustained heavy losses, with dozens killed and several captured during the engagement. An analysis of the events at Sufa reveals a distinctly asymmetrical battle. The attacking side leveraged the element of surprise and superior numbers to attempt a rapid overwhelming of the defenses. In response, the defending side relied on the determined actions of a single tank crew, the resilience of the local civilian security force, and the rapid deployment of elite special forces to hold the line and eventually mount a successful counterattack. So why was the Battle of Sufa so important, beyond the immediate objective of regaining control of the area? Sufa was one of the key border outposts positioned south of the Gaza Strip. The tenacious defense mounted by the small tank crew and the kibbutz security team was critical in preventing armed groups from advancing further inland toward neighboring communities like Halat and near Yitzhak. Their resistance averted what could have been a much larger catastrophe. Concurrently, the battle starkly exposed vulnerabilities in the initial border defense posture. However, it also demonstrated the rapid response capabilities of Israeli special forces in a crisis. Sufa became a symbol of local resilience during the October 7th offensive event that initiated the major conflict and fundamentally shaped the entire military campaign that followed. The Battle of Sufa serves as a stark reminder that in the context of border warfare, the successful defense of a single outpost can decisively alter the course of events across a vast area.